And we have done it. We have hit magical number chapter 140. We've done it. This 140 times. Karim Garcia, MLB slugger, bashes catchers as he enters home plate. He does that with the mic and he does that with his cleats. I'm Jonathan A. Cohen of Kormans LLP. And Kareem, we over the last few weeks we talked about Mr. Sasaki and Mr. Soto and where they're headed. We reviewed, award ceremonies, and I want to bring it back to last week where we're saying that Soto got a phone call from the Tampa Bay Rays. Okay, not the Devil Rays. Remember they were the Devil Rays back in the day. Tampa Bay Rays. So if we were a fly on the wall for that phone call, if they even made it to talking to him, my question to you was, what do they possibly have to talk about? Like, given what's been in the news, we've seen what's in the news about their current and future stadium, right? Which is what we're going to try to fix for them today. But if you're the Rays and you call it to Juan Soto, what do you have to offer this man for a facility? How do you think that conversation went?
I think it was a really short conversation. It's like, do you are interested in coming to the Devil Rays? He probably say no. Okay, thank you, goodbye, and that's it. I don't think they went any farther than that because right now, unfortunately, the Tampa Rays do not have any stadium to play for next year or maybe for 2 more years. So it's difficult to actually bring people right now to do so.
I would say Juan Soto. This is the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, we've got a very exciting opportunity for you that nobody else can offer. Now, you know how all the teams play in a major league stadium throughout the season? We don't have to worry about that. You know how you go to spring training and you have so much fun in spring training and you love being at spring training and the facility and it feels like summer camp? We're going to give you that experience all year long. And it's not going to be just any spring training facility. You know how you played for the Yankees and you got to play at that facility? Guess what? You could just stay there all year now. It's the best spring training facility, and you could feel like summer camp all year. And there's no pressure. You don't have to go to Yankee Stadium and have 50,000 people screaming at you. You got 10,000 people, 15,000 people, and they're there and they're sipping on their mojitos. And it's just a chill vibe, man. It's spring training all day long. And you know how we just bring in pictures and we find a way. So, what we're going to do is we're going to invent money that doesn't exist. We're probably just going to print it, like how when there's inflation and issues, we'll just find the money. Don't worry about that. And we'll take care of that end of it. And you can just enjoy the spring training life for 1 year, maybe 2 years. And there's a really good chance in the middle of your contract, a new stadium will be built. I know the voting's not looking really good right now, but don't worry about it because there's 4 or 5 cities lining up to take us, and you can be part of a expansion team or relocation team. Think about all the fun every year. You don't know where you're playing, what the name of the team is. This is for you, man. Like, don't you want adventure in your life? Like, the Yankees, they've been around forever. The Pinstripes, it's boring, man. Let's do something fun here. So that's how I would sell Juan Soto on the Rays.
Yeah, that's a pretty good speech right there. Pretty good salesman speech, but I don't think he's gonna get it
No.
unless you were the Oakland Vegas team. Being in Las Vegas, you can probably sell that one. If you are already there, not right now.
Well, let's talk about the Rays. Do you want to talk about first the problem or do you want to talk about the solution?
No, let's go for the problem. Why
All right.
not?
All right, let's first dissect this problem here. So, you got the hurricane and blew off the roof, right? During the year, it was March, April around, the city, in their wisdom, decided to lower the insurance on the stadium before the hurricane. They went from like 100 million to 10 million or 20 million, whatever it was. So they could lower their premium by like 100,000, 200,000 a year. So they saved 100,000, 200,000, and they cost themselves tens of millions of dollars in lowering the insurance premium. So well done with that. Good job. So they just kept the insurance. This would not have been an issue. So now what happens is the insurance is going to cover, let's say, whatever amount of the stadium, but you also have a giant deductible. So you got to put in, I think, 20 million in the deductible. So bottom line is we're really stuck here. So we have a facility that's garbage and we're not going to stay there no matter what. Why would you rebuild a roof on this stadium? Makes no sense at all. It's a garbage stadium. You're not going to put a roof so you can play for 2 years and leave. Fine. But we can't keep it as an open air stadium because it's in Florida with all the rain and everything else. So we're gonna stay in Florida and go to a spring training facility that's an open air stadium. Why? I'm befuddled here, and then it turns out you can't have an open air stadium at the Rays Trop because there's no drainage whatsoever because it's a giant piece of concrete. Apparently, they can't go do the drainage properly. So I'm not putting a new roof on that facility, and I'm not dealing with that. I think this is over. I think God intervened and said, "You don't deserve a baseball team in this stadium. It's done." Go to George Steinbrenner Stadium for a year. Fine, I can live with that. They're going to get actually probably better attendance than they did at the Trop, sadly enough. So they do that for a year or two. Fine. Then the vote, they changed the city council, and of course they didn't get the votes in time, so now they voted against the stadium. So now the question is, they build this new stadium. Is it going to happen in this county or not? Or they're going to have to go to Tampa, and are we going to get a new stadium in Florida or not? And this is a giant gong show. So you don't know if you're going to fix the Trop. You don't know where you're going to be beyond next year. You're playing in spring training, and it doesn't look like you're going to get your new stadium where you thought it was going to be. Buddy, this is a giant problem in life. And how are you ever going to attract a free agent? How are you going to attract fans? This is a gong show.
It is. I mean, the only good thing about the race is because they have a good farm system where all the guys that they traded and get all those prospects, that's the only good thing that they have. They're going to be competitive in 2 more years or whatever. I mean, they're competitive right now, whatever it is. But, these guys in 2 more years, they're going to actually try to make the playoff again. But no stadium, how, like you mentioned, you're going to get someone, actually a decent free agent, to come and pitch for you or hit for you if you don't have where to play. It's difficult. The George Steinbrenner Stadium holds 11,000 people tops, probably more than what they draw last year. A game, which is even better for them. But that's not a major league stadium. You need something better, bigger than that.
And they have suites in there too.
Yeah, you can
If
sell
I
those
was
money
a
as well.
Hollywood executive, I am right now writing out the script to Major League 4. Okay. And I'll
Mhm.
take it out of Cleveland. I'm going to put my storyline in Tampa and the story of the Rays because the stadium blowing off the roof, you just changed the insurance. So now you're not getting anywhere close to the amount of insurance and you're not getting a new stadium built and you're going to spring training. This is the perfect script for Major League 4, right? You can't make a better baseball movie than the horribleness that is the story of the Rays. So that is the problem. Now, for solution wise, people are very fixated on are we going to fix the roof on the Trop for them? And they're still talking about that for some reason. George Steinbrenner Stadium, are we going to stay there for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? Then from there, are we going to build a new stadium? Is it going through where it is in the county? Are we going to have to build a new stadium in Tampa? We have to keep them in Florida. Blah 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 blah. This is the solutions they're fixing on. They're fixated on. Are you ready for my solution?
Yes.
It's the easiest solution possible. Okay. And you hinted at it, by the way. The Las Vegas A's, right? The Las
Mhm.
Vegas A's playing in Sacramento, by the way, right?
Mhm.
Because it's not working out. We're going to Sacramento. So the A's just left the Major League Stadium, did they not?
Mhm. So
All you
Oakland.
Oakland, right? And all you gotta do is keep the uniforms and just chop off the R so the Tampa Bay Rays become the Tampa Bay A's. And you just put them in Oakland. And in my script for Major League 4, it's perfect because now they're off to Vegas, but their stadium, by the way, hasn't even started construction yet either, just saying.
Mhm.
And that's been a interesting field. They're in Sacramento playing in a AAA field, and there's the Rays playing in a spring training facility. I wouldn't put them in the spring training facility. I would have just called up Oakland and saying, "How would you like Major League Baseball again?" And we're going to give you the Rays. And guess what? We're going to make a deal now, and we're going to build a new stadium in Oakland, and blah blah blah. Because you're making all these promises, and for now, go put them in Oakland. If you came back to the fans in Oakland and said, "Guess what? We have saved you, and we're giving you a better farm system and better players," and the Rays now become the A's in Oakland, I think they're getting better attendance and there's a better chance that Oakland's going to get a new facility done. So I'm putting the Rays in Oakland. That's my
That's
solution.
that's a great solution because the Rays play in the division with the Yankees, the Boston Red Sox, Baltimore, and you face them 19 times a year. So that means that you see those guys 9 times in your stadium. So there's more attendance. Not just to start with that. As more attendance, just to start with that. Whoever you play after those guys, it doesn't matter. Besides the point. But those guys, you got them over there, 40 times, 40 games with your own division or 50 games with your division, you know. You bring in a lot more people than you were before.
And on top of this, you know what we get to do then? Play another fun game. It's called realignment.
Oh,
So Tampa doesn't have to be in the same division with the Yankees and the Jays and the Red Sox. They can go down to the West and they'll do that because I don't see a world. I still don't in realignment. Realignment is supposed to be based on geography, right? Is there
yes.
any city, major league city that's closer to Toronto than Detroit?
Nope.
But they are not in the same division.
Absolutely. I mean, you have Buffalo, New York, but it's a minor league city.
But you put Toronto together, Toronto, and let's say we're going to put them now with Detroit. You can, and if you're going to choose to do it, if you're going to put Cleveland, if you're going to put Cincinnati, like from a geography standpoint, if you're going to have me drive to Cleveland and drive to New York City, Cleveland is closer for me actually. And by the way, remember Pittsburgh as well. So Pittsburgh can move over. I would do a whole new realignment. I would have the Mets and the
The
Yankees
Yankees,
together.
Philadelphia, Philly.
It'd be a beautiful world where you're actually gonna have real geography, move and now with the whole DH thing, like AL, NL it's irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything anymore. So I'm gonna get sponsorship dollars instead of calling it the American League, the National League. I'm gonna call it the Amazon League, and I'm gonna call it the eBay League, and I'm gonna get sponsorship dollars for my league names. And might as well, you know what? We're getting patches and patches on the field, might as well. But I'm telling you, this fixation with keeping the team in the Tampa, Florida region. I don't know. Have you seen how are the Marlins doing in attendance?
The Marlins, horrible.
Hmm. So they're in Miami. By the way, Miami, I heard, is a really popular city. Is it not? Like people, enjoy going to Miami and partying,
They
right?
love to go to party in Miami, not to go see or watch baseball.
I've been to several Heat games in the NBA. They seem to be pretty popular, are they not?
Well, yeah, they are.
Okay. And Dolphins, they seem to be doing pretty well, do they not, tennis wise?
Yeah, tennis was yes, but the thing is, they don't have as many games as baseball.
Hmm. So baseball in Miami in the most populous popular city, new stadium, by the way, and have won World Series, and they can't get attendance. Why are we so fascinated with keeping the Rays in that region then? Hmm.
I got no idea, but I got another solution for you. I just thought about it.
Okay.
Um, when the pandemic hit, remember back in 2022?
It started in 2020, but 2022, okay.
Well, 2021, whatever it
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
And where did the Toronto Blue Jays play?
Buffalo.
Exactly. And Buffalo is close to what teams on the East Coast that they play with the Rays? Toronto, Boston, Yankees. I mean, you're right there. If you already use the facility for the Buffalo AAA team for whoever it is now, you could probably move over there and you're closer to everyone.
Well, I could tell you, the Buffalo Rays would be quite interesting. That's down in my backyard, basically.
And they are as a big stadium too, because they use it for a major league playing.
It's a beautiful stadium, absolutely. It is AAA. It is
Mhm.
very close to the geography of all the people in your division.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So you would have put them in Buffalo.
Yes.
That's
You already had a team over there, a major league team for a full year.
You've done it before, and it's much easier for travel wise. Because the other thing is, why are the Rays not in the same division as the Marlins then?
Yeah, because American League and National League,
Which mean what now?
nothing.
Nothing. You know, like it's so funny, Kareem. Like a new baseball fan and us telling them how one league had a DH and one the pitcher used to hit and how you used to have to worry about the double switch and everything and all the National League game worked and they're gonna look at us like we're like from the planet Mars.
From back in the 90s. Oh yeah,
Think about it. It was like that forever, and we're gonna have a world where children are born and don't know what pitcher's hitting in the National League game. They've destroyed the National League game. It was a much, much different game. So now I would tell you with expansion, with relocation, we have to do realignment. This has to come to be.
yes. They talk about it. They made some changes, but I mean not the right changes. Because Houston could be playing against the Texas Rangers, which are right next to each other. Things like that.
So we've given now good viable solutions, right? You've put them in Buffalo and I put them in Oakland. There's real solutions there, right? You know what's gonna, so this is the smart thing to do. You know what Major League Baseball is actually gonna do? I think at the end of the day, I think the Rays are gonna be at George Steinbrenner Stadium for the next 3 years. Seriously, I I don't see a world where they're gonna fix that stadium on the Trop and put a new roof, but they may spend the 50 mil or 40 mil or whatever it's gonna cost and actually put a new roof and keep them in the Trop until they come up with a new stadium, either in that county or in Tampa. One of the two things, they're either going to be at Steinbrenner Stadium or in a renovated Trop. And in my mind, like the roof coming off the Trop is the best thing they could have asked for. Like this is saving them. And the insurance money, instead of pouring it and being silly and renovating the Trop, take that money, put it either in Buffalo, put it in Oakland or wherever you're gonna do, and upgrade the facilities a bit. But I think they're gonna do the worst band-aid solutions they can, and I don't think till 2027 we're gonna have any clarity of where the Rays are gonna play. So how do you sign free agents and how do you build a winner when nobody knows where you are long term?
Well, it's difficult. All they know for sure is 2029, their contract is done with the city. And either they build a new stadium or they move somewhere else, they relocate. So that's the only sure thing they have for the next 5 years. So besides that, how you lure people to come and sign with you, telling you're playing in George Steinbrenner Stadium for the next 3 years. As a hitter, you're probably gonna hit 40 jacks every year and get 100 RBIs. As a pitcher, your ERA will be as close as the guys from Colorado on a 5 point basis, and go figure out from there.
I feel very bad for the fans of Oakland. You lost your football team and they're never coming back, and you
Mhm.
lost your baseball team and they're never coming back. And that market, it's funny because they're saying it's not a great market. It's funny, it's a chicken and egg thing. If you put the teams back in there, if they put a new football team in there, give them a new stadium, there is a fan base in Oakland. There's a history there. The Oakland A's and the history base, that history is going to get eradicated, and they're not going to see another major league team. And think of how many cities fight to get major league sports into their facilities. And once you lose them, like ask Vancouver when they had the Grizzlies of the NBA. And Vancouver, if it was done right, I think would have stayed there. But once you lose that team, it's hard to get them back.
Yeah, any team that you lose a franchise is probably never coming back. It's just very difficult for someone to actually bring it back.
If you were part of the conversations, do you think that Major League Baseball talked about Buffalo as an option for the Rays? Do you think they talked about Oakland, that the stadium just opened up? Or do you think they were so fixated on Florida that it didn't even occur to them?
I'm sure that they give the option to the team, and tell them, this is your options that you have. Do you want to move from Florida? Do you want to go to Oakland for a year? Do you want to go to Buffalo? I mean, we have a couple other AAA facilities that you can actually use to be better for you. But at the end of the day, the management of the race are going to do whatever they think is best for them. And they don't want to move out of Florida. They don't want to move out of Tampa. So I think they're going to be stuck over there.
You know what? You have the Lakers and you have the Clippers sharing a stadium forever and ever. You know what? Maybe they could have moved them to the Marlins Park. It's a brand new facility. It's still pretty new out there from when it was relatively built, and the Marlins ain't doing much with it. So you know what? Having the Rays and Marlins playing out of the same place in Miami, at least they could have used that facility. And I bet you the Rays would draw better than the Marlins.
I'm sure they will.
It's a very, very interesting situation. Anyways, and I love talking about relocation. I love talking about expansion. And, you know, I think baseball is smart that they are not doing the expansion right now because you got to stabilize these situations. We need to see a ground in the shovel in Las Vegas. We need to see the A's stadium getting built. You need to get the Rays settled out once and for all. This Rays situation, this whole fiasco with the roof coming off, and the fact that their new stadium may not be a go. Until they figure out these situations, they cannot do expansion because there may be a relocation involved with it. So the way Vegas would have got an expansion team, they got the A's. If the Rays have to relocate, you can't take away two potential cities. So I'm gonna tell you the relocation is pushed back now, and we're probably not gonna see expansion, and we're not gonna see expansion in baseball probably for another 5 years. I think 2030 is gonna be the earliest we're gonna see it now. But they're still gonna get two more teams in there. It's gonna happen. Don't think it's gonna be Mexico City. Don't think
Never.
it's gonna be Montreal. I think we're gonna, you talk about Portland, you talk about Nashville, and there's so many places, San Antonio. It should be interesting where we'll see expansion one day, but we're gonna pause that one for a while because baseball can't do anything until the A's and Rays are fixed.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just the way it's gonna go. So this has been the Chosen Baseball Journey. Karim Garcia, Jonathan A. Cohen. Stay tuned as the offseason comes. Kareem, there's going to be a lot of free agent signings, over the winter, before Christmas, after Christmas. Be interested to see who signs where and if our predictions are correct. So we'll stay tuned on that.